All right, so welcome back. I just installed a quick example app here. There's nothing special about this app. I already made a video on how to create Shopify apps in 2022. You can watch it somewhere here. I will link it. And yeah, so you should follow along and just create this simple app right there. It's not hard at all. You can do that within 10 minutes or less. And yeah, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to show you how you actually install those Shopify theme app extensions. All right, so here we are at my VS Code. I'm right in my directory for my example app, and I got my server running here, and I will open up a new terminal with this plus sign right here so I can start installing my Shopify theme app. So the first thing that you want to do is, of course, you have to have your Shopify CLI installed. That is very important. Then the next step that you will have to do is, if you're not already logged in on the command line, then you should type in Shopify login. And I am already logged in. If you're not already logged in, you should be redirected to a website or to this Shopify site where you have to log in, and then you're logged in. It's not that hard. But the next thing that I want to do is I want to CD into my project directory to the root of my project directory. That is very important, and that's where I am right here. You can see it. I'm at the root of my directory, so that is correct. So the next thing that you want to do is type in Shopify extension create, and that would create a directory of your Shopify app extension. But if you also need some boilerplate code or some example code, then you can type in this flag getting started, which will automatically give you some boilerplate, and we will take a look at that just in a minute. So now it gives me a list of all my apps because I have to install a theme app extension to an app. And when they say app, they don't mean app like this Laravel app right here that I have. I could have multiple theme app extensions within my app here, within my Laravel app, but I have to install my theme app extension to one Shopify app specifically, right? So the app that I'm working on right now is this Laravel example app _ shop right here, and I have to make sure to install my theme app extension to the correct app, because I made the mistake before that I accidentally, especially if you take a look here, those apps kind of sound the same. So, and I made this mistake before that I installed the theme app extension to the wrong app. So, and that would result in the fact that you wouldn't see any of your changes within your app because you installed it to the wrong app. And yeah, just make sure that you install your Shopify theme app extension to the correct app, and just hit enter. Now you have to tell them that you want to build a theme app extension. There are other type of extensions as well, but we will focus on that right now. All right, so now it's cloning and it is creating a directory for us. And as you can see, they also provided us with some assets. You can see here some CSS, some JPEGs, whatever, and a app block.liquid and an app embed.liquid. I will explain the details on those differences maybe in the next video or maybe in a couple of minutes. And you can also see here some snippets and a .env file and so on and so on. So we got all this boilerplate code right there. And yeah, so we have installed our theme app extensions, but we have just installed them locally. Now we have to push those changes to the store, and in order to do that, I will have to cd into my theme app extension directory, and I will have to say Shopify extension register. Now, do I want to register this extension? Of course I want. And now I will have to push my theme app extension to the store, and I will do that by typing in Shopify extension push, and it has pushed my changes to my theme app extension, and I can take a look at it right there as well. So if you take a look here, then it will say last updated at 4 o'clock. It's for some reason it's always 1 hour behind, but that's not my problem. All right. Now it might take a couple of minutes until everything is set up, but in order to see those changes from in order to see your app blocks that you have just created, you will have to go to your dashboard of your shop, then go to your theme, click on customize, and in our example code, we will have to go to the product detail page again, and we would have to add a block, and I will just wait a couple of minutes for this to be in effect. Okay, now so if you have just waited for some time and you can still not see any changes on here, then it might be possible that you still have to enable Shopify theme app extensions for your app. And now let me show you how this works, because once you push the changes to your to this theme app extension, then it will say visit blah 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 to version and publish your extension. Now we don't want to publish the extension just yet because we're still in development mode, but if we hit command or control and click on this link, then we will be redirected to this theme app extension right here, and you can see that the test working draft of this extension in development stores and preview is disabled. Now you don't want the preview to be disabled, you want the preview to be enabled. Now you click this, and now the draft can be previewed on development stores, right? So what you want to do is you want to come back to your customizer, reload the page, and then you come down here to add block, and now you can see that you have this image gallery right here. You can click it and it says cute puppy gallery, and this is the cute puppy gallery that comes from your Shopify theme app extension. Now if you click save and visit that page on your store, then you can see this cute puppy gallery right here as well, right? And that is all of that code that we have installed from our theme app extension. Okay, now I want to show you this. If you, for example, go to your home page and you want to add a block right here, then you can see that on the previous page, on the product detail page, when we added a block, that we could see down here this puppy gallery page. But if we are on our home page or on our catalog page, we will not be able to add that block. And I was able to navigate right to the product detail page and just know that I would have an app block here, image gallery. But the way that I knew that I could go to this product detail page right here is by looking at the code from our theme app extension. And I just want to quickly go over this code right here and just briefly explain a little bit, as much as I can. And if I go here to App Embed, and if we take a look here at this JSON file right here, then we can see that here we can set the name. So we have this image gallery right here. Now we have the target a target is a section. So we have this section right here, and within a section, so a product information is a section as well. Product recommendations is a section, and within that section we can add an app block, right? So that is why we can choose this app block from right here, because we have said that the target is a section. Now we can also say, all right, we want this style sheet, we want this image gallery CSS from our assets folder right here. We can load our style sheets from within here. Now we can also load our JavaScript file from here. So we have this image gallery JS right here. We can just import it from there. And this is the part where I knew that I would be able to load it from our product detail page, is that we have our templates, and it says product and index. So from our product page, we can load this app block, right? And then we can have those settings, and you can see right here, all of those settings that you can set right here is those settings that you can see on the side. So you can see this heading right here, you can see the description, and you can see image 1, 2, 3, 4. That is exactly the same that we have here. So we can say that we can define the input type. We can give this input type an ID. We can give it a label. So the label would be what the user is seeing right here, right? And we could give it a default value. And we can do this for all types of input fields. Now, what I kind of struggled with, and I still haven't found a real solution, maybe if some of you is watching this and maybe you can tell it, then write it in the comments below, that I'm not quite sure how to know what types exist. So there isn't really a documentation on that. So I cannot really see what type of input fields I can choose from. I took a look at the documentation of those theme app extensions, but couldn't really find anything. So if you have any advice on that, then please write it in the comments. I'm not quite sure how that is done. So the way theme app extensions basically work, from my understanding, is that you have those fields right here, and those values that are being installed, that are being stored here, are being stored in so-called Metafields. And those Metafields, you can retrieve data from those Metafields by typing in block settings dot image 2, image 3, and so on and so on. And that is actually the ID of this field right here. So you would save all your data within Metafields instead of storing the data in a database, which then results in better performance as well, because you don't have to source data from a database and then just load it onto your page, but you have all of that data stored right in the Metafields on the page already. I'm not quite sure how Metafields work in the background, but that is the whole idea of it. So Shopify actually wants you to use theme app extensions instead of sourcing from data from a database, right? So that's the whole idea behind that. Now you might see those differences between, you can see here that we have an app block and we also have an app embed. And when you have this app embed, you can see that there are no settings right here in comparison to this app block right here. You can see a whole lot of settings where the user could set something and right here you don't. And you also have a target of body right here, as opposed to target just a section. So the difference between an app embed and an app block is basically that if you use app blocks, you want to put some elements on the page of your store or on the storefront. That's when you want to put some extra elements, some extra DOM elements on the page. But if you use an app embed, when you just want to load some script on the page, like some script, like for example, Facebook Pixel or Google Analytics script or something like that. For example, my example app that I showed you before, where I just animated this button, this buy it now button on the product detail page. That's when I should have used this app embed, because it's basically just a script that I load onto the page, and that script is looking for a special DOM element, and then it's doing something to that special DOM element. But I'm not actively creating a new element, right? So that's the difference between an app embed and an app block. So you should know when to use which, right? And you can also have a name, you can have a different target. Even, you know, maybe you might want to give your users some extra settings to that app embed, because maybe if you have some Google Analytics script, then you might need your user to enter their ID or whatever. So you can do whatever you want here, right? You can also give them a text input or whatever, but you get the idea. Kind of the important thing is to understand the difference between an app embed and an app block, which kind of, at least for me, it was kind of hard to understand the difference, right? Hey, thank you for watching this video about theme app extensions. If you liked it, then please leave a like and subscribe, and click this video somewhere around here. I linked it. You should see it right now, and that will take you to the next video. So thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.